You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
What's up, Robbie? It must be Monday. Laura's man in the house. Jeff, Marcus, I saw earlier. Who else we got here? Preston, Sheldon, Jay Byrne, Stevie B. What's going on, guys?
We got Kyle in the center seat who had another weekend of ribs.
I saw that. On this. He posted that on Facebook. So we'll have to find out how that went. What's going on, brother?
I'm doing well. How are y'all doing? I'm just happy to be here.
That's not what he says on the other show. On the other show, he's like, "Oh man, Monday I got to do that rat ass show. I hate that."
I love being here, y'all.
We had a good show on Robbie's channel on Friday. It was an interesting topic, and it keeps feeding itself. As you know, nothing new has developed, but I keep saying you've hit my Yahoo News page. So we talked about what's going on with the DC universe.
Don't say it. Don't.
Don't what? Don't what? We had a whole show on it.
They've taken so many right shots. They're begging for a left.
It's just
Did you just get the alert that there's an arrest warrant issued for Ezra Miller in Vermont?
Yes, I did.
That's exactly what I just got.
I mean, I read the I guess the Airbnb in Iceland or somewhere, one of those Nordic countries, that the owner of the Airbnb said there's a cult going on, or she thought there was a cult going on there, and she said everybody in there looked like they were hypnotized. I just read the story today.
Was that the DC editor meeting?
Maybe that's the Kevin Feige summit that they're having over in Iceland. I don't know.
We were talking a little bit about it last night on Rockin' Robbie Live, and apparently some rumors are coming through that Warner Brothers is considering getting another actor, using CG to replace Ezra Miller, or using the end of the movie to somehow, instead of undo, say, the Snyderverse, undo Ezra Miller as the Flash. And I was like, how funny the idea that somebody's first attempt to do a Flash movie would be to remove themselves from the Flash movie.
Now they got to call it Flashpoint, right?
It's just that hole keeps getting dug deeper and deeper, doesn't it? With the Flash, and the fact that it's not till even next year. So who even knows what's going to happen in between then?
Well, this is the problem too. Now these movies take anywhere from 18 to 36 months from when we sit down and have a beer and sign a contract to do the movie to I sit down and go see the movie. In some cases, that's 3 years. In some cases, I mean, Sandman is all over Netflix this weekend. We'll probably get into that a little bit later. But one of the first things I read from Sandman was that immediately people had complaints. They said it felt rushed. Apparently, this project has been going for like 9 years in various stages of development. Yes, right. No, yes, no. And then Neil Gaiman basically out on social media and said, I don't want to hear any BS from people like this isn't the real Sandman. I'm telling you it's the real Sandman. End of story. People still had stuff to say. And my reaction is, he wrote this.
Neil Gaiman killed 14 different Sandman productions before this one.
Exactly.
He killed more people than the Corinthian.
Yeah.
I don't know about that. The Corinthian has a high body count in the comics, so I'm just going to say.
It's the truth, though. And, one of the things I like about Stephen King is he's at the point in his life now where he's super brutal. Like, he apologizes for some of those movies he signed off on, like, back in the day, right? He's like, I needed money, this and that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Now, like, he does something and he flat out tells you, this is the story. I wrote this stuff. And I really love when these creators get on social media and be like, look, this is like the Wild West of social media platforms. You can say whatever you want within the scope of what is allowed on the app. But I'm telling you, like I guess Neil Gaiman was irritated by some of the things he was reading. And he's like, I'm telling you, I signed off on this like every step of the way. If people don't like it, that's totally fine. I just finished. I watched the entire thing once, and I just finished issue 9. Then I had to do some stuff, come down here, do the show. So I've almost seen the whole thing twice. No, it's not the comic book. It's not. It's not the comic book. That doesn't mean it's not the essence of the story. And this is kind of what we talked about with Ms. Marvel and everything else, right? I'm more concerned about them getting the essence of the story, and B, it being an entertaining watch.
Well, I'm only halfway through, John, right? So I've watched the first 5 episodes, and I'm a big fan of the Sandman comic. And I'm surprised at how faithful it actually is. I mean,
yes.
The first 5 issues, those first 5 episodes are pretty much the first 6 issues of the comic, and done beat for beat for beat. There's some slight differences here and there, but for the most part, it is incredibly faithful.
Yeah, there's little stuff. When you get to 24/7, and people haven't watched it yet, we'll just call it the diner episode. When you get to 24/7, it really sort of, kind of hits you like how seriously they're taking this.
Right.
And I said this to somebody on Twitter yesterday when they were complaining. The only way it could be more accurate is if they did like the Sandman stop motion comic, and they've got a Sandman 24/7 thing from like 4 or 5 years ago.
They also have the audio drama, which is incredible. Yeah. It's amazing. It's fantastic. 24/7 was changed a little bit from the comic, but the gist of it all was still there. The fact that he's in there using this stone to make people go. It's a really good. I'm enjoying it.
Can I tell you, Robbie? I was in a group chat with some people, and I said the one complaint I have about the Sandman show, and I'm only through episode 5, is that I prefer Andy Serkis as Matthew the Raven, only because I think his portrayal in the audiobook is like the perfect portrayal, right?
Yeah, and Matthew's one of the things I don't like in the show, because they make Matthew a more comedic character that's always there, kind of the audience POV. That's the one thing that I don't like the most about this show.
I'm not saying that Patton Oswalt isn't great at it. I'm just saying when you crush it, like Andy Serkis did in the audiobook, it's hard to live up to.
For sure.
I agree.
So real quick, let's get through the best offer items.
No, real quick, let's get a tissue for Dave, who's sobbing about not seeing the rack. Let's get some Kleenex for Dave and let him see what's on the rack, and then we can go with whatever we're going to do.
But how would you give him the Kleenex?
And I actually agree with Dave. The Doll's House storyline, of all the stuff from the Sandman series, that was not amongst my favorites. You know what I mean? They kind of had to do it that way, but I was glad you know what I mean?
No,
I was glad when they sort of got past the Dollhouse.
All right, so here we go. All right, so first up, we got Civil War Frontline #1, signed by Paul Jenkins. And it is a best offer book, number 13 of 200, starting at $19.61.
Oh, you know what? Show whatever the Black Widow book is.
Huh?
Dave has a request that he wants to know what the Black Widow book is.
Black Widow #1, signed by Nathan Edmondson. But it is not a best offer, so we're going to get through the best offers first. I like that one. All right, so second best offer book up of the night, Captain America #1, blank variant signed with cover sketch of Cap by Ken Hazer. It's just retail of $89.99. It is a best offer book connecting a wraparound cover. And it is a best offer book starting at $19.41, the year that Captain America first appeared.
That's a fantastic cover. Holy cow. Bucky, too. The
Yep.
motion lines. It's double.
Yep.
It's a wraparound. That's awesome.
It is a wraparound. That is. I am hunting the caverns of the warehouse, looking for new, stuff that we haven't seen before. This one was sitting there by itself. I think there were only like maybe 2 left. I didn't look at the other one. So as we know, Ken Hazer stuff is always kind of a little bit different. Even the same character or even the same pose is always a little bit different because stuff's hand drawn. So.
Preston, that's a good question. You know what? That's something we have to ask Ken.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's got to be Bucky, right? Because Cap's got the triangular shield. So that was
my first impression.
Yes, good point. I didn't even catch the shield part. That is a very good point. All right, so then
I think he used the shield because look how much better it flows with the cover, the composition of the cover, than if he had like the big circle. And I love the circular shield, but
yeah, I guess I would kind of agree with that.
You know what I mean? If you look at the way he's got it wrapped around, it would be really goofy if you just kind of had this big sort of. I mean, because in comics, the shield is always drawn as like a perfect circle.
All right. Okay, so next up is also a best offer item. Evil Ernie #3, FOC premium metal cover. It's just retail of $100. It is a best offer book starting at $39.99.
That's great.
And the metal covers, obviously. All right, so Preston is in for the Captain America. All right, gotcha there, Preston.
I bet this really pops on that metal cover with the way that the shadow side of the bricks, you have the red outline there. I bet that really pops.
Yeah, I love this cover.
I really don't think Dynamite should be doing anything but metal covers anymore. The paper covers, except maybe holofoil. Let me guess. That's above your pay grade. You can't make that happen.
Let me say this. Okay, our shipping costs would go up. I mean, seriously, you would not believe a long box of these metals compared to a regular long box.
I can't.
When I'm trying to pull it out from the shelf so I can look in it, it's like, holy crap.
Not to mention the books come out 3 times a year. If you had to get that many books of metal covers.
Dude, I couldn't lift a long box full of metals by myself. Not without hurting myself, dude. And my copay's too high. Kenneth Bird, what's up, buddy? So that ain't happening. All right, so then the last best offer book of the night, Jennifer Blood #6, premium metal cover. It's just retail of $100, and it is also a best offer book starting at $39.99. And I got you, Ron. You are at 25 rather on the cap. Gotcha. So Ron is currently in the lead at 20.
Hey, John, can you walk this book up to the camera?
Yeah, it's kind of dark.
Jennifer Blood,
the scan looks a little.
This is a Tim Bradstreet cover too, so that's going to be really, really interesting because he uses a lot of heavy blacks and stuff. But I bet that looks really cool.
I certainly don't mind walking this up. I don't know if it's going to look much better, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the amount of black on that cover just makes it an awkward scan.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's literally when you get to the bottom of this, it's almost completely black. It's really cool. But it's unfortunately one of those things where it's really difficult to, I mean, there's like literally no good image here.
Creative Keep wants to start the bidding on the Civil War signature.
All right, so hold on.
While I'm up here, I'm going to throw this up here as a public service message.
Creative Keep. I got you down, buddy, for 1961.
If you
John, those are good, John. I couldn't believe it. Do you not like it?
Watermelon and strawberry are fine. Coke is fine. the three together, I need like rum to sort of.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that sounded so gross to me because I hate artificial watermelon flavor, like candy watermelon stuff. I cannot stand it. So a buddy picked me up one of those because I like trying out different types of Cokes and stuff. And I was incredibly shocked. It tastes like bubble gum soda to me. I don't know. There's something weird.
You know what? I think it tastes like bubblegum soda.
I liked it though, but I like that Starlight one they did too that was supposed to taste like space, whatever that means.
That seriously was like a cotton candy soda. I don't know what if space tastes like cotton candy. That's awesome. Sign me up tomorrow. But
I kept drinking the zero sugar ones, and they just, I don't know, they reminded me of what I remembered Tab tasting like when Tab was a thing.
Yes, wow, that's ancient history, Tab. I will tell you this though, I can't once or twice a year, I guess, like Coke or whatever, they do the real cane sugar version. It tastes funny to me now. Believe it or not, if it's not corn syrup, it doesn't actually taste. It tastes kind of like when you drink Diet Coke or whatever.
Oh, see, I love when they have real cane sugar in that.
I guess it's been too long. I've been drinking corn syrup for too long. It just tastes soft.
We have them plentiful around here year round, and we call them like Mexican Cokes down here because I think that this is the one that they serve down there, right?
Yeah, correct.
But correct. I love it. Crisper and just so clean tasting with that pure cane sugar. I much prefer pure cane sugar sodas.
It tastes off to me. I don't know. I've been drinking too much corn syrup, I guess, through the years. All right, let's move to the next book. All right, we got Betty Page Unbound, #1, Atlas edition, signed in gold by David Avalone, or Avalone rather. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is a blockbuster price. We have one available, signed in gold for $19.23 for the year that Betty Page was born.
This is a dope cover. So this is like Betty Page posing as Red Sonja. I'm getting, right? That's the vibe?
Yeah. Dave loves to do that. He's done it with Betty Page and he's done it with Elvira, where he runs them through the multiverse. Like, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but Elvira in Horrorland is like this. Just like the Elvira series was before this. Dave will take these really well-known things in comics, movies, and television, and then kind of run the characters through them in a comedic way.
Gotcha. Marcus, big collars.
Preston, those are some nice collars. I'm just going to be honest, some nice collars. Nice fur on that coat or cape or whatever, too.
Oh, is this a best offer?
No. Preston took it for $19.23. So congratulations, Preston. You got it, buddy. It's yours. Emmy Comics, what's up, buddy? Dave, what's your thoughts? Ethics issue in the community, or who really cares?
I think they're talking about the C2E2 controversy that's been coming out from this weekend about this variant where basically this comic book vendor had leftover copies of an exclusive cover that they did of Ultimate Fallout #4, First Miles Morales, right? So they had some extra ones left over. They basically stapled an acetate cover on it with like some, I don't know, just a couple little tidbits of graphics on it or whatnot. And they claimed it was like a new exclusive variant. And then there was a whole thing over influencers grabbing up a bunch away from customers. I don't know. It was a whole thing. But I thought it was interesting because, and I'm curious, maybe you guys can answer this. You know a little bit more about the inside of the publishing business. But if someone does an exclusive for you, you have an agreement with them, right? So them and Marvel had an agreement. Can they take those, basically marry the cover and pass it off as a brand new exclusive? Because CGC was even grading them as legit exclusives. They have 4 staples on them. It's a married cover, right?
Yeah, I don't believe that you can. I guess we're gonna find out, because if Marvel takes exception, they're obviously gonna act on it. From my experience, I don't think you can do that. Okay, because any exclusive cover would have been covered in a fairly, especially when you're dealing with Marvel, I would think, and Disney, it would be a fairly extensive contract.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking.
Right, which would cover any kind of alterations and things of that nature. So what would have been granted would have been, and there would certainly be where they can sell it, how they can sell it, type of thing. And I would have to imagine somewhere in the contract there would be verbiage that talks about altering or fundamentally changing the item, and restrictions to that. So taking it and stapling a new cover, an acetate cover on it, is essentially changing what it is. Where Rubenstein, I think what the difference is that a remark is a singular, it's a singular piece of art, just like anything else. So essentially, it's an artist creating an individual piece of art based, usually on a blank cover or something, or like signing a comic. We're selling the comic with the signature, so to speak. You're selling the comic with the sketch art. This is a wholly different kind of thing because in the end, you're attempting to change the exclusivity. You're trying to change it and make it become something else that was not agreed upon. So that I think that's the key, is the way that they're calling it another exclusive in a sense. If they just did it and then sold it, then would it fall along the same lines as maybe a remark or a signed book, more than likely. But if you're trying to market it as something else and add another layer of exclusivity, you're essentially changing what you agreed to with Marvel. Yeah. So I mean, again, I'm not an attorney, and I'm certainly not a patent trademark attorney, or a copyright attorney. So if somebody is, one of our viewers is, they might want to chime in.
Run this past smart Mark Sterling.
Yeah, right. But given my experience, yeah, you're trying to change. What's the best example I can give you? It's almost as if you're getting I can't even think of a good example.
I don't know, like what if you bought like a Mustang? You bought like a Mustang and you put something on it that wasn't on it, and then claimed it was like some kind of special limited edition Mustang or something. I don't know.
They used to make Cobra body kits for Fox body Mustangs. You could not call them Cobras. You could say it's a faux Cobra, but you couldn't call it a Mustang Cobra.
A Fobra. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's a good job, Kyle.
Like, I mean, that's kind of what I equate this to, right? Like, it is different than what was originally there, and maybe when Marvel, maybe Marvel was involved, maybe they weren't. When I did my exclusive with Arvell Jones, that's what Marvel did to give me an exclusive cover. The regular cover was underneath my exclusive that they just stapled on. So I don't know that it's necessarily that out of practice, but at the same time, to say, oh, we're going to say there's 100 of these when there's actually 1,000 of them, and all you've done was staple some clear plastic to the front, seems a little fishy.
I think, yeah, I would agree. I think they're kind of dancing on a very gray area there. But if it actually went the distance, I think that they would lose probably. You're essentially changing what the product is, and you're claiming the exclusivity, which is the other part of it.
And ultimately, I don't think Marvel would really care at this point. Like, they're like, whatever.
They may not. I mean, they may not, but it may also depend on how big an issue it becomes.
Yeah. What's really crazy is that
James brought up exactly what I did. Now it's 4 staples.
Yeah, that's what's crazy to me is clearly there are 4 staples, and the ones they sent to CGC came back as, this is the C2E2 acetate exclusive, and I'm like, that's a married cover, right? Like. So what's the precedent? We can all just grab whatever comics we want, put some plastic on it. I can draw a smiley face, be like, this is the Rockin' Robbie exclusive to Fantastic Four, number 1.
I don't have a problem with that.
I think, all right, so I wanted to answer Ron's question. So I assume, Ron, you were talking about Ultimate Comics Fallout number 4. It is the facsimile edition, all right, graded 9.8. We might as well just go to that item now. And it's just retail $89.99. We have one available for $79.99.
Why don't I put like Garbage Pail Kid stickers on it, and it'll be like a special edition?
Yeah, you get into that.
It's the EXP.
Yeah, it gets
GPK.
It kind of gets into that gray area of whether or not you're certainly by the spirit of whatever they agree to. I would imagine that it does not follow the spirit of the contract.
Well, yeah, they're playing a little game there. A couple of years ago, I'm at Emerald City Con. And they had, and I cannot remember who the publisher was. I know it wasn't Dynamite, but they had like a special con edition. and if I remember correctly, this is some kind of Batman thing, right? And what they did was the comic was actually in a plastic bag, like old school style. And the plastic bag had like the Emerald City Con thing on it. But on the back of it, they had barcodes because they were allowed to do it for 100 comics. Like, I wasn't going to wait in line for a Batman comic. I mean, if there was one on my front lawn, I would go out and get it. Right. But they apparently were allowed to do 100 copies of this book. And so whenever they would give one away, it would be like, boop, boop, boop. And when they were done, they were done.
Right. So, I mean,
they were claiming it was a con exclusive. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's like Batman 615 with a different plastic bag on it. But
All right, so Dave's giving us a little bit more info on that. The C2E2 fiasco is because the vendor allowed Whatnot sponsored sellers to buy 100 copies in bulk before the fans were already in line. That could be a problem as well. That obviously is. I mean, the whole thing just you got to be real careful there. I mean, it's. If it continues to become an issue that won't die, then somebody will do something just because they have to.
I mean, I've seen Wall Street. I know all about insider trading. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's the type of thing, they'll get away with it once or twice.
Greed is good.
They'll get away with it once or twice, and then one of the publishers or something is going to say, okay, playtime's over.
Jumping to Wall Street real quick, the movie. All right. I thought it was so slick back at the time, but now through the years, it hasn't aged as well. Gordon Gekko, you named him after the lizard. We get it, okay? Not really subtle symbolism, I think, right? A little kind of obvious.
Yeah,
okay?
That's a little on the nose.
I've never met somebody with the last name Gekko in all my days.
No, I mean, I think the symbolism there was exactly what it is. A big part of that movie is the character. I think what really did not age well, or some people say aged very well, is Daryl Hannah's role in that movie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It's funny. Most of the women I know are like every third woman I know was that girl from the 80s.
So, I'm Marcus, but hey, Jay, Rex Gekko only, I agree with Marcus, only if you're referring to the Geico Gekko. Okay.
I think it's right, though. When that 4 or 5 year period after Wall Street first came out, like literally every NBA guy in a suit was looking at each other going, "Great is good, and yeah, it was obnoxious, but it was what they did.
And then you're like, I think you took the wrong point from that movie.
Yeah, I would say.
I don't think it went very well for the Greed is Good crowd. I'm just saying.
Well, the truth is, I think everybody sees Gordon Gekko as the hero of that movie. And I don't have a problem with that because I kind of track towards heels anyway.
Right.
But I think that you're supposed to be everyone. Let's put it this way: everyone quotes Gordon Gekko, right? Nobody quotes Charlie Sheen's character. Nobody quotes, Martin Sheen's character, right? Nobody cares. They remember two things: Daryl Hannah's character basically going where the money is, and Gordon Gekko. His beautiful house on Long Island. He's like the first guy out with this like cordless phone or whatever. That's the stuff people remember.
All right, hold that thought.
Hey, real quick, before we go to break, in response to our Gordon Gekko talk, should we be a little magnanimous and announce the giveaway before the break?
Yeah, sure.
Why don't we do this?
Charity is good.
No, let's announce the giveaway as soon as we come back from break. How about that?
All right. Good tease, Rex. Good tease.
There you go. Thank you, sir.
We'll be right back. Go talk amongst yourselves. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite new show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show, on The Experience, comic culture and sales.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at The Experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox.
We are back.
Preston, yes, actually watched a couple movies this weekend. I spent most of the weekend up with friends up in Princeton. We had a few drinks, we went to see Bullet Train. Bullet Train is good.
I heard that, yeah.
Bullet Train is good. A few drinks makes it a lot more fun, especially when you go sit in the back row with 5 or 6 of your friends and you just kind of be real loud and obnoxious. It's a lot of fun. That's absolutely a movie I'll probably at least watch 1 or 2 more times.
I heard good reviews about that one. I heard it was kind of interesting concept, exciting, and so on and so forth. Dwayne DePayne saw it. He loved it.
Yeah, it's exactly what it looks like.
Creative Keep. I have not, my friend, where it was, so I have to do a deeper search. A deeper search in the warehouse. But I will tell you, it doesn't look great. But I am looking, my friend. So I will let you know as soon as as soon as I find one back there, if I can. All right, so let's get to another book. So we got Deadpool #7. Deadpool 25th anniversary variant, signed in silver by Deadpool co-creator Fabian Nicieza. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is number 18 of 25, signed in silver, and we have one available for $50.
I've said this before on the channel. Fabian Nicieza, super cool dude. I'm a big fan of his work. Helped him and Mark Bagley were responsible for like New Warriors. And Night Thrasher was one of my favorite characters growing up in the 90s. So I love anything related to Fabian. So this is a steal for this.
All right. So Deadpool #7, 25th anniversary variant. And we have signed by Fabian Nicieza, and we have the one available at $50. So, all right. So where do we leave off? What were you saying before? Oh, we got to talk about the giveaway. All right, so the giveaway of the night, and Kyle will put up the hashtag. I don't even know what it is today. But it is Dynamite Never Dies, #3, Arthur Sudam, Virgin cover, and that is the giveaway of the night. Suggested retail of $50. So enter hashtag station EXP, all lowercase, into the chat to enter the drawing. And we'll do that right after we do best offers at 7:55. And weird, I just saw Prey this weekend as well on Hulu. I think
Hulu. Prey is very good.
Yeah,
Prey is absolutely.
I really enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what to
job.
expect. Yeah, but it was definitely a worthwhile watch.
Well, the Predator movies have been a mixed bag, right? Some are entertaining, some aren't. I think this was kind of got back to its roots a little bit.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Departure.
One person now, you know.
And I kind of like the way they tied it together at the end.
Yes.
Okay, where she, no spoilers, but let's just say they tied together with no, not a spoiler, but they tied together at the end with the second one. Was that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, right? I do. That's why I don't want to say too much.
I feel like it was the second one, the one with Danny Glover. Right.
Yes.
That was the final.
No,
right?
yeah.
Okay. So, but it is an entirely different approach, and obviously far more interesting since if you've seen the trailers, Native Americans and they ain't got no machine guns or none of that.
Well, some of the better stuff that Predator did, I'm going to guess this was Dark Horse. They had one in particular with Vikings. They put Predator everywhere. When Predator was in the desert, he was in the past, he was in the future. They threw Dark Horse just basically.
Right.
They did everything that they could with Predator. There was one where they were sort of like Vikings or something, and it was a neat idea. It was a neat story, and I think when you sort of do that, you're getting more to what the Predator is, right? And the movie's called Predator. I think, and I love Aliens, Predator. When I see people with all these, I want to see Aliens, Predator, Terminator, RoboCop. Look, I get it. I read Dark Horse comics in the 90s and 2000s too. I know what you're missing. However, I don't think that stuff works in a movie. It just doesn't. You know what I mean? There was a great sort of fan series somebody drew, like 5 or 6 sketches, right? And the Predator jumps on what they think is a abandoned ship, and of course there's eggs on the ship, and then it turns out the alien tries to impregnate the guy, and it's a Terminator, right? And so it's like a whole thing, and it burns. The guy drew like 20 panels. It was a great idea. I don't think you're gonna be able to do that in real life.
Y'all just wait till the Predator shows up at the end of the next Avatar movie, and then everybody's gonna lose their minds.
That would actually be kind of cool, wouldn't it? If you think about it.
It made me care about Avatar, I'll tell you that.
I really want to see I only want to see an Avengers movie end where there's like an egg in a crater.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Kyle?
Well, the internet, and I haven't seen Prey yet. I'm with people who are like, I'm gonna watch it tonight. I will probably get to it on Thursday once I finish Sandman. They're saying the way to watch it is to watch it in Comanche.
Wait, is to watch it where?
In Comanche. They did a dub that's in the Comanche language.
Oh.
Yeah. If you go into the settings.
I didn't know that. I did not know that. I would have watched it that way, actually. I have no problem with subtitles. So.
And apparently it's the first movie dubbed in a Native American language, I think. At least the first American movie, yeah. I
thought the acting was good. I thought the premise was good. The whole 9 yards, and I had totally forgot it was out, and I just happened to be at home, and I'm scrolling through looking for something to watch, and I'm like, oh, this is on. All right, so I flipped it on, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was a good movie.
We watched a bunch of stuff this weekend. It was super hot. We're a bunch of fat, old, middle-aged dudes. Nobody was going to do anything, so we streamed stuff, we ate and drank, and then we took Ubers to the theaters to see stuff. We saw Nope. I've seen Nope a couple times already. We've talked about Nope before. I think it's problematic. Some people love it, some people don't.
Right.
I thought there were some things that were a little too cutesy. I loved it. I certainly wasn't going to tell anybody, no, I don't want to see Nope. We watched Paper Girls. We watched Sandman like through the day. We're in a real good stretch now. We're in a real good. Prey came out. Bullet Train. If you're looking for something, like a lot of people now are taking vacations, but maybe they don't want to go anywhere. I'm seeing on my timeline, people are like, I'm not going down the shore because of monkeypox. Okay, whatever, man. You do you. But if you decide to stay home, there's a lot of stuff to watch right now. Lightyear came to Disney Plus.
Right,
people who were like, I'm not going to see that in the theater. Well, okay, it's on Disney Plus now.
Right. Yeah, I was going to watch that. Started to surf around a little bit and ran across Prey. So I was happy about that.
I was wondering if John Spilios was going to be here, because coming out of this weekend, I guess Rosario Dawson was on a panel, and she sort of let slip out that what's his name? He's coming back.
Is it John Bernthal? Is that his name?
is apparently because I was kind of wondering Punisher people like how they feel about that. There's a small group of people that didn't like him as the Punisher, and I thought that of all the Punishers they had, I thought he was the best.
I thought he was the best Punisher too that we've had. I mean, there is a short film, it's like a fan film or something, starring Thomas Jane called Dirty Laundry.
Thomas Jane made it.
Thomas Jane made that? That's probably my favorite Punisher movie ever. It is so good. If you've never seen it, it's really good. It stars Thomas Jane, and he's Punisher, and it's awesome. It's awesome. Anyway, we've been hearing about the Punisher thing. I think that'd be cool. Spilio was on in the chat on Rockin' Robbie Live last night, and he found out for the first time that there was an Archie Meets the Punisher book. He didn't even know that. So I bet, he didn't even know it. I was like, oh, bro, you are missing out. So I bet he went and bought like 5 copies immediately after the show.
I'll tell you right now, Archie has done some very cool stuff. I mean, we've talked about Afterlife with Archie, and that's great. But Archie has met Predator. Archie has met Punisher. Archie has met Kiss.
The Turtles.
The Turtles. They've done like Betty and Veronica meet Vampirella and Red Sonja. If you have any room in your heart for like the Archie's comics, there is a ton of really cool stuff out there.
And let's not forget one of the weirdest stretches they did. Archie meets Sharknado. They did that one.
And they just did one which is wild. Archie meets Riverdale. Like the Archie Comics version of Archie meets like the CW's Riverdale version. And I'm just like, right now, if you're an Archie Comics fan, it's like halcyon days. You're getting a ton of stuff.
So
Sabrina.
Ed Weird says he still has a soft spot in his heart for the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie.
They're fun to watch. I certainly don't shut it off. Too. It's a big dude shooting people. Okay, leave it up.
Yeah.
Let's order pizza. I'm super happy for that.
All right, let's do the next book. We have Supergirl Rebirth #1, rare Adam Hughes variant, ultra limited edition, red signature series signed by Steve Orlando. And we have the one available. It is #1 of 59. And we have it available for $59.59.
It was a very nice cover. Very, very. It gives me like almost like a Norman Rockwell vibe for with the coloring and everything. I don't know. Maybe I'm off, but
yeah, there's a realism to it. That's for sure. So Preston asks, when does Archie meet Witchblade?
That would be interesting.
I wouldn't rule anything out at this point. Right. All these things, particularly from the 90s and 2000s, have really found new energy. Witchblade. There's a lot going on. There's a lot in the works. I would not even remotely think that. I mean, you could put that story together like sitting here. Archie takes Veronica to a jewelry store, and Veronica finds, this and that. And the next thing you know, Veronica's got the Witchblade on. I think that story almost writes itself.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
One of my buddies is like, I'd love to see like Archie meets the Green Lantern. Okay, I mean, I'm sure DC will appreciate the money, and Archie would appreciate the money, but you know what I mean? That's a story that writes itself.
Right. I'll tell you what. How do you top Batman Spawn coming up? Archie Spawn. Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
Well, Archie, I believe, and I might be wrong, but I believe Archie met Batman and Robin from.
They did Batman 66. Yeah.
Thank you. Batman 66. I think that was sort of a. And I understand maybe some people might say that's not really Batman meeting Archie. That's okay. I would love to see more Betty and Veronica.
That would be awesome.
I would love to see more Betty and Veronica and Red Sonja Vampirella. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that a lot.
Do you think if Betty and Veronica met Conan, they would both sleep with him? I bet they would. I don't know. There'd probably be a problem there because they're teenagers technically.
Archie's forgotten. What are we fighting over the red-haired dude for? I would love for Archie. I would love to see. The truth is, and I don't consider myself a hardcore Archie fan, but the Archie crossovers I've read, super entertaining. If they wanted to do, I could just imagine how happy Nick will be when I pester him for, hey, can you call the Archie people and do Archie meets Evil Ernie? What better is yet is he finds the button and he becomes Evil Archie.
Now I see why you want to be a comic book publisher so bad. You have so many ideas in your head.
Well, it's just wasted money. Nobody else wants to read that stuff, but I got to spend $1 billion somehow.
You know,
right?
man. There's got to be somebody like a John Cole somewhere in the world. All right, so let's do. Let me see.
We had a request early on that we still haven't fulfilled.
What's that?
The Black Widow book.
Yes, we can do that.
Did we not talk about that? I could have sworn we talked about that.
We talked about it, but we didn't actually show it.
Okay,
All right,
cool.
so let's do Black Widow #1, signed by Nathan Edmondson. It is #1 of 80, and we have one available for $29.99.
That's a great cover.
That is an awesome.
I love her logo in the eye. That is too neat.
Yeah, that's a Phil Noto cover. That's really cool having her in the background in the red and then the silhouette in white of the city.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
see
right.
New York and Moscow. Yeah,
Gotcha.
really cool. This was a good run too. Nathan did a really, really solid run on Black Widow. It was underappreciated at the time.
All right, so Dave, Saronen's claimed that one, so that one is gone.
Yeah, I think what Robbie said is right. There are certain runs which you're not really jumping into them until they're collected or, whatever, and then they kind of get that second chance. I remember that was a series where at the time I was reading almost everything Avengers related I could get my hands on. And I remember thinking, man, if this is what they do with the Black Widow movie, this is going to be great. Spoiler alert, that is not what they did with the Black Widow movie.
I don't think that's a spoiler alert at this point. When did that come out? It's been months. Months and months and
Well,
months.
I don't hate the Black Widow movie. I just think if you look at some of the stuff they did, there were a lot of other ways you can, you know what I mean? There's a lot of other ways you can go. Dave is right. Rex's memory resets every 5 minutes. That's why we have 8 Rex caps in a 2-hour
That's
show.
right.
You keep forgetting.
Just to remind myself.
Rex is like a goldfish, I see. Okay.
That's true, because I bring your food and you're totally distracted, like the flakes and the goldfish.
Just don't tap the glass, man. Just don't tap the glass.
No, I don't have to.
He gets nuts when you tap the glass.
Oh, that is,
So we never finished that conversation about the DC universe.
I don't like kicking someone when they're down. I mean, DC was
All right,
played.
I have very little sympathy for them at this point because I mean they have done everything possible, and Robbie and I discussed this on Friday on his show. They have done everything possible to when there's a fire, instead of water they throw lighter fluid on. Okay, and then you just see the whole thing go poof. Okay.
He has a question, which there's a C. Is there anything we sell that doesn't have a COA? Dave is asking, is there a COA with the Widow book?
Yeah. The Black Widow book will have a COA because it's signed. The books that don't have a COA obviously are the unsigned metals, Dynamite and Metal books, and then the unsigned Virgins
and slabs, which are already sold.
Yeah, and the slabs. But everything else.
And if anybody is interested, I have these really cool exclusive COAs that have an acetate cover.
And Staples.
So, just if anybody's interested. What?
But the Staples, they're an important part.
They're PCP limited.
Yeah.
Only 2 staples.
Staples. I just use glue.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I like your idea. I would just get one of those sticker books and just put some stickers on it. Draw some mustaches on the person on the cover and be like an exclusive.
Well, it's like, so I finally thought of an example. All right, it's like taking a card and putting a piece of acetate over it with some printing on it, with the, National Sports Collectors Convention or something like that, and trying to sell it off as something else.
It's exactly what happened to Logan Paul when he got into Pokemon cards. He paid like $2 million for a super rare Charizard, and what someone had done had printed off a sticker and stuck it on another Pokemon card and conned the guy.
That's great.
Oh man!
I mean, I know the WWE now wants me to see Logan Paul as a hero, but
he's way better at wrestling than he has any right to be. Like, he's actually good, and it just makes me angry.
Well, I think the truth is, and this was the Pat McAfee problem. or not problem, but this was the Pat McAfee situation. This guy was an NFL level athlete, and people forgot that and thought of him as an announcer. So when he jumped in the ring and had a couple of really good matches, people were stunned by that. Two things I'll say is this. First of all, these people tend to be naturally athletic. Both Jake and Logan Paul seem to have like athletic DNA. You know what I mean? They seem to be pretty good at boxing, wrestling, whatever. I don't want to see the guys win, but you can't deny their success.
I can.
And the second thing
No,
is,
I absolutely can.
the WWE has broken down pro wrestling to a point where they can train almost any reasonably healthy and athletic person to work a match. They've broken it down.
This is completely different, though. The whole Jake Paul thing, he has not faced an actual boxer, except for, or was that his brother? I can't even remember. I remember, and at this point he's cherry picking. If he really believes he's a boxer, okay, fight a sanctioned fight, okay, where you got to make weight, where they're going to drug test you, where they're going to do all that stuff, all right, and fight somebody that's an actual boxer, okay, all right, because or go into an MMA octagon and fight as an MMA, all right.
The problem with celebrities doing MMA is somebody would get killed. Boxing has rules, gloves. If you jump into the ring,
I would disagree.
If you jump into the cage, I know that Jake Paul is an athletic dude. He jumps into the cage with an MMA fighter, they'll have to carry him out in a spoon.
I would.
There's no way a hobbyist can be good at jiu-jitsu.
Not on that level. Yeah,
boxing,
not on that level.
wrestling.
I would disagree with that. I'll tell you why. Because that has been a common thought that, and I will say that when you take all of it together, MMA is probably to a certain extent safer than boxing. And the reason for that is because, think about it, okay? In MMA, you take a straight square shot to the face, you're going down, okay?
Well, they got 4-ounce gloves on, so yeah.
Right, okay? Now imagine being pummeled for 10 rounds, okay? All right, with a boxing glove, repeatedly being hit in the head for 10 rounds, okay? That, I believe, can cause far worse damage, okay, to a person. And you've seen people get killed in the ring. Okay?
So, just because
Mancini had killed that South Korean boxer years ago. Yeah, I mean, just straight up killed him.
Also, like boxers have the highest suicide rate outside of like cricket players. I think. Like it's like there's probably something going on there. With the.
Yeah, Ron, I'm not disagreeing.
Hey, Neil, what's going on, buddy?
I'm reading what Ron is saying, and there are too many ways to get. You catch a shin to the chin in MMA, you're done. You get caught in an armbar and you don't tap fast enough, you're in a cast.
Also, when you go down, they get on top of you and they're like 20
MMA, a guy like Jake Paul gets shoved against the cage. That guy would be passing blood in his urine for a month. It's better to just take one shot with balloon gloves. If that guy gets in trouble, he'll be done.
I'm sorry. I don't agree. I mean, I think the Jake Paul fights are essentially, they're essentially.
Well, they're worked fights. I don't know if any of this stuff is. I appreciate Logan Paul in the WWE more because they've got a much lower. Their suspension of disbelief. I need you to sit down for 2 or 3 hours and pretend that these guys are in their underwear, really fighting with each other. And then when you're done, you laugh, you go home, you go to sleep or whatever. But sports like boxing and football still trying to pretend like, no, we're 100% shoot. No, you're not.
All right, so we have Mark Heron, who I believe is new to our show or maybe hasn't really contributed in the chats until now. We do, not tonight though. So we do have things that are Disney related, and we always take suggestions, so we can certainly look and try to put something up there. What? Let me say, hold on. Stevie B. What was your last comment, Stevie B?
Sorry, I was typing when you switched topics to boxing and MMA.
You gotta be quicker than that, Stevie B.
You want to throw up another comment before we go to break?
Yeah, let's throw up another comment before we go to break. All right, let's do. Was Lars Man in the house?
We come back. We're going to go back to that DC question.
Yeah. Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows #5, signed in silver by Scott Hanna. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is number 13 of 100, and we have one. Oh, it's a best offer item. See, Dave Cerrone's right. I am getting old.
Shouldn't you have told people that at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, probably. So, Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows. Number 5, Signed Silver by Scott Hanna. Suggested retail of $69.99. It is a best offer book starting at $19.62.
And yeah, Sheldon,
right,
I do
Morris,
have
you
Disney
got it,
Watch. I just bought one. I don't know if you saw the show on Wednesday. I came in and we had like a little faux unboxing.
Oh, your Mickey Mouse
The
watch.
Disney Watch.
Yeah, that was. It actually is a pretty cool watch, I must say. And then somebody was asking about. I want to say, was it Vampirella? I think it was.
Elvira. Someone is asking about Elvira.
Elvira?
Oh, Elvira.
Someone asked about Elvira. We do have something from Elvira up here, don't we?
Do we? I don't think so.
Well, will it be Wednesday? Yeah, it's a one color cover.
Is it Elvira in Horrorland number 3?
Elvira in Horrorland number 3. John Royal Virgin cover. Sorry about that.
That's cute. She's got a little xenomorph. She's got a little xenomorph pet. That's awesome.
You guys have a little xenomorph. This whole series has been a ton of fun.
I agree.
I very much have enjoyed this so far. I got to do one name drop in the first hour because I haven't done any. I've talked to Dave Avalone a lot about this. He's having a ton of fun writing this, and this is a very slight spoiler alert. The same way we're going to see more Vampirella and Red Sonja, we'll see more Elvira. I know people are like, "Oh, it's just 5 issues." Yeah, this story is 5 issues. I'm pretty sure we'll see more of Elvira later this year, beginning of next year. The same with Vampirella, the same with Red Sonja. I think our longtime viewers kind of get it by now, but I still get newer people that are like, wait, how can that be the last issue for Vampirella?
All right, Dwayne's a pain. I got you, buddy. All right, so Dwayne is claiming the Elvira, so that is gone. And then Preston asked about the Vampy. And you know what? We will come back from the break and cover the Vampirella. And just a reminder, everybody, the drawing tonight, the giveaway is Dynamite Never Dies, number 3, Arthur Sudan, Virgin cover. It's just retail of $50. Just make sure you put hashtag StationEXP, all lowercase, in the chats to enter the drawing for that free comic, and you're good to go. But remember, case is very has to be lowercase. So the way that the randomizer works. All right. So we're going to take our next break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there, hi there, hello there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comic Crypt. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I am your host, Henry Kumpa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Game Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey!
What's up?
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectables.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the damn Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box?
What's in the box?
Comic culture and sales.
Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out. Twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
Hey, and we're back. I want to say, Kyle, kudos. The little commercial bit that you do, where you got copy going across the screen. I appreciate the Dune reference, so that was a good one.
Nice.
And then John,
the bumper stuff. They're just so
This batch is all JD. He took mine and said those aren't funny, and rewrote them all.
What?
Well, guess what? I like the Dune reference, but
he's kind of not signing their paychecks.
So John saw something, and we'll get back to that conversation we had earlier. Preston, don't you worry. There's always going to be a Rex cap. All right. So
we did a name drop right before the break.
Yes, you did.
Talking about Dave Avalon about.
All right. So we got 2 Vampies. One's graded. All right. So we're going to do that one first. Vengeance of Vampirella number 11, CGC graded 9.8, Lucio Perillo cover. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have the one available, 5-star at $50.
Very nice collar.
So, yeah, nice. Attaboy. Attaboy. When you're sticking, just dive in deeper. So John just saw, unfortunately.
I feel like you're not focusing on the Vampirella mythos. I'm going to have a word with writer Tom Stigowski.
Name drop number 2. Okay.
Oh,
all right.
Name drop number 3 real quick.
Dwayne's a pain beat you, Preston. I apologize, buddy. All right, so Dwayne, got you, Dwayne. You got the Vengeance of Vampy, CGC 9.8. Go ahead.
Somebody else I was talking about, we have Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, that comes out this week. I think we have the Sheena thing up there. The cosplay cover is Jackie Gaynor.
Right.
And this has been a slightly different type of cosplay. Jackie Gaynor was trying to show like the more like low-key element of Sheena. Like one of the things people forget, they just think, oh, it's a girl in a bikini. Sheena's super intelligent. The character is very smart, which is how. So she was trying to show a more thoughtful, contemplative Sheena instead of just another, lady bodybuilder with a gigantic spear.
All right, so Dave, yes, you absolutely influenced that because I didn't want to see like 3 or 4 chat entries correcting the pronunciation.
What? You mispronounced?
No, I pronounced it correctly. Here it comes. Go ahead, Dave. It's open game on John's head if you want. So John just saw another article, unfortunately, about Ezra Miller. So as Robbie said on Friday, this just writes itself, and it literally does.
Oh no!
Go ahead, John.
I just got a message on my phone a little while ago. Apparently, he was arrested for felony burglary in Vermont, where it's understood he was hiding from authorities for some other kind of issues or problems. Or
I really don't understand why they didn't give the role to Grant Gustin. I just don't get it. Okay, he's popular among the fans. I like his Flash. I like the series. I just don't. What was it that they felt he couldn't make that leap?
And apparently, I'm just reading this real carefully to be clear. He wasn't arrested. He's been charged, and he has not yet been taken into custody.
Everybody likes all the Ezra Miller stuff. It is kind of fun to poke fun at all this stuff. But honestly, someone needs to go up to him like a friend and be like, check on him, check on them. Like, make sure Ezra is okay. Because
I agree. He really needs
holy cow.
Wellness check.
Talk about a downward spiral. Like, holy cow. And so quick. And I don't know, man.
Maybe it's always kind of been there, but, a lot of people have issues and you don't really hear about them because they're not famous.
They put him in 2 of Warner Brothers' biggest ongoing franchises. The Justice League stuff and the Harry Potter stuff, or I forget, it's not Harry Potter anymore, it's the Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts, he's in those.
Fantastic Beasts, they put that guy, he was one of the central figures.
Yeah.
And then by the 3rd movie, they practically had to write him out.
But you got to ask yourself a question. At what point, and again, I do feel bad. I mean, in a sense that the guy's obviously having serious problems. But, you got to ask yourself that a movie is not made in a vacuum. There are hundreds, if not thousands of people, and certainly enough just producers and directors and executives that are dealing with him. Ron, very good example, like Amanda Bynes, that somebody should have said something or noticed, like, I think he's having some problems. We've got it, and then you're committing him to all these projects, and nobody notices? Nobody says,
I would think.
Did anybody think that what Ezra did last week was a little strange or what?
One of the things I read a book years ago about the old studio days, right? And the old studio days used to have guys on the books that were off the books. And they were there to sort of make sure that Hollywood stars did not go too far off the rails. And if they did go too far off the rails, they were there to clean it up. They had people on the payroll from the press. They had people on the payroll from the police. So when you're hearing about, like one big celebrity star stabbed another, you're hearing about it 50 years later because at the time, it's quietly taken care of. They had their own doctors. On the set of MGM, they actually had like a 6-bed, ER, for lack of a better term, because they certainly didn't want certain things to get out. Right. Now, I'm not saying that things have to be that sort of, but clearly this is a troubled dude. He needs a sponsor. He kind of needs somebody there to try to, bring him back a little bit if he even wants help. I think now Ron brings up we live in a TMZ world. And I think, to a certain extent, you can't keep those things quiet, but you can flip the script and have them be there, have physicians on staff.
Right.
This thing of, there's privacy and privacy. Sure, okay, I respect privacy. At one point, the guy was running around with a 15-year-old kid with a gun, reportedly. I think people's right to privacy goes out the window when you're at that point. Somebody clearly needs to help this dude.
I was talking to someone who's no longer with that company, and their comment to me was DC / Warner Brothers / Discovery would have made a move already if there wasn't more to the story than we're all hearing and that is being played out in the news. Okay. And this was, I mentioned earlier when you guys were talking about Batgirl. If Discovery kills the Flash movie this year, they can write off the entire cost of it. Same like they can with Batgirl, same like they can with the Scoob movie. So why not make a move now when things are ugly?
Because I think I understand what you're saying, Kyle, but I think what they've done is they have now inevitably painted themselves in a corner. So if they were going to do this, it should have happened before shelving Batgirl, right? So you listen, you bite the bullet, but now no matter what you do, you paint yourself into a corner. You're pretty much screwed, because if you shelve the movie, all the people that have been waiting for it are going to come after you. Okay, if you don't scrap the movie and you release it, they're still going to come after you. And they're going to use Batgirl. I don't think they're going to use. Well, no, I think they will because Batgirl that was made for HBO Max. Is definitely a smaller budget. Now you've hinged everything, on this Flash movie.
Stevie B is exactly right. Ezra needs his own Ray Donovan.
Yeah, no doubt.
If you people see Ray Donovan,
my understanding from the lawyer I talked to, because this is a thing that I'm dealing with in my own business on a much smaller scale, is that if DC puts Batgirl up on YouTube and doesn't monetize it, they can still cancel the movie and write it off. So all they're saying is they're canceling the release of the movie. They're not saying they're not going to leak it without leaking it. So there's a lot of levels here that we're not seeing that are being played on. And I think that's kind of what's happening with this Ezra Miller thing, right? DC Legal, DC PR, Warner Brothers, Discovery. They all know the more of the story than we get to know. And it just looks real bad right now.
It's bad enough that DC has been hurting themselves with some poor decision making over the last few years. For Ezra Miller and Amber Heard to come in and add in their trouble as well. You know what I'm saying? You got to like John said, you don't want to. Like John said, you don't want to kick them when they're down, but it just keeps getting worse.
It's really hard to me. I'm predisposed to be like, come on, I love DC, man. They did Legion of Superheroes. You know what I mean? Like, I'm predisposed, but when you keep constantly shooting yourself in the foot editorially, in the market, in the movies, apparently Warner Brothers put some guy in charge, and I understood. When you got to bluff at some point when you're not holding any good cards, talking about how Warner Brothers is going to make DC like the Marvel Universe. Dude, prove it. You haven't shown me one movie that DC has done that I would not watch a Marvel movie instead. Not one. I don't care if it's Wonder Woman, look, I enjoyed Wonder Woman. I enjoyed Aquaman. Those movies, on level of comic book movies, are nowhere near like Captain America: Winter Soldier. So do me a favor. I understand this guy's got to kind of make some noise, like whistling in the graveyard, but I don't know if his name is Adam Horn. I'm just like, dude, you know what? Show me one movie. Show me one movie that is at their level.
I think, I understand what Kyle's saying.
Peacemaker movie, Ron, that, you know what? That might be the strongest go-to. The Peacemaker movie, that would be, don't show me any more Batman, because you showed me emo Batman with the kid from Twilight. My interest in that is zero. Peacemaker would work.
Well, now remember, though, that Batman movie was a huge success for them, right? So they feel like they're on the right path now. And Rex, one of the things we were talking about were, if they want something to be cohesive and unified, and that's why they're ditching out on Batgirl, why Batman and Joker, right?
Right.
And the idea that I've been given, some more information that's been reported to us here at PCP, was that they're okay with allowing standalone alternate takes on things like Batman and Joker and whatever other projects, but Batgirl was cemented in this post-Flashpoint thing, and it would cost them another like 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars to like make it work with what their current plan will be. And so that was just something that it was a better deal just to write it off.
Dwayne Zapane throws out the name Lobo. My original idea for Lobo was I wanted Lobo to be Ron Perlman. Obviously, Ron Perlman has talked about being too old to be Hellboy, so he's not going to be Lobo. So my question is, do we make David Harbour Lobo because he just seems to get Ron Perlman's hand-me-downs? Or
He might be able to do it, but I saw an interview with him recently where, he got like in super shape to do Hellboy and Stranger Things season 5, and he's gained it back, and he says he'll never do that again.
Yeah, he was super clear about. He actually cracked the joke. He was like, "I understand that, he's like, I am not Captain America." And I thought it was cool that he said that, like, and even Chris Evans has said one of the reasons why he's done being Captain America is it's like Olympic level training for 6 months, and then you have to do the movie and maintain that training. That's
the problem is the perfect actor to play Lobo is already playing Aquaman, because he's playing Aquaman almost like a lighthearted, like lesser version of Lobo.
Yeah, you know what, that would work.
So here's the thing. Kyle said something, and I agree with what he's saying, but I also disagree on another level, and I think this is the problem. So he says, there are things that are happening that we may not be privy to, which is certainly the case. Okay, stuff like that happens at Marvel. That stuff like that happens at
Our
Toyota.
sources here at the Experience are impeccable,
but
we just make the stuff up.
But the problem is that that's all well and good, and there's stuff we don't understand. But maybe that's the problem that DC has had throughout this. I think that the MCU, and lately the movies coming out, they have not had the kind of momentum that Endgame obviously had. We're complaining, about it, but it's still in the discussion and it still fits. And it's still in the discussion. The problem is so you feel like that no matter what, that Feige and his team do have the audience in mind, and not saying that there are plenty of people who watch MCU that
Ron,
never pick
that's
up a title.
Great cast. That's a great casting. I'm sorry. Ron Shepard suggests Kevin Nash should be Lobo.
Lee Schreiber is another good one. But here's the thing.
Lee Schreiber, that's an inspired take, because his Sabretooth was awesome.
Well, he was in Halo, and I tried to give that show a chance, but I'm an old guy, so I played Halo from the beginning. That's not Halo.
Yeah. So I think that the problem that DC's faced with, it has been faced with, even before this merger with Discovery, is that there is a lack of attention to what the audience wants. Okay? They figure, well, we'll do what we want to do, throw it out there, it's Superman or it's Batman or whatever, and they'll buy it. Don't worry about it. Okay?
Well, that's it, serendipity. Like, they had no idea what to expect with Joker. Joker hit at a time where there was like an angry vibe in the audience that they embraced this terrible, terrible movie. I'm supposed to think that this is a great movie. It is not a great movie. No. Take a deep breath. If you enjoyed it, you paid for your ticket, that's great. I don't want to see it.
But the point is that it always and still looks like, and you and I talked about this on your show.
He's Cyborg, man. I like that.
Who was what's the guy's name again? the guy from Discovery that took over as CEO.
Zaslav
or something like that. Okay.
That's a supervillain name as it is.
Well, here's what's weird. So when the
Say it
merger
backwards and it returns to the fifth dimension.
It's a Bond villain name, isn't it? Bond villain, yeah.
But when the merger happened, did you really think the CEO of Discovery was going to take over the whole thing? And this is where I kind of took exception with it, was that this guy has been with Discovery Channel, okay, doing reality shows and things like that. Now you're delving into the world of complete fantasy.
Yeah, but before that, he was, remember, from 89 onward, he was doing NBC.
But when you brought that up, though, my comment to that was the way that we consume stuff, entertainment from that period of time to today, it's changed dramatically.
So you're saying you're not on board with Aquaman, the Deadliest Catch?
Yeah, right.
I'd watch that.
So I think he doesn't have any clue what he's doing. Okay, I think a bunch of accountants looked at the spreadsheet and said, you know what, let's shelve Batgirl. And the other thing that's influencing this is his thought that, okay, well, we're not doing it this way. The only thing that's going to end up on our streaming channel is going to be Discovery stuff like Deadliest Catch or whatever the case might be. And we're going to shift all of these IPs like Batman and Superman. We're going to make them blockbusters just like MCU does.
I just want to say real quick, Dwayne Zapane is spot on, I think. Carl Urban as Lobo.
Ooh.
Boy, that worked.
Wait till The Boys is over. By the way, I'm caught up on The Boys.
Seasons of The Boys. I've
completely, let that be over first, and then let's do Carl Urban would do a perfect Lobo. That would be great.
All right, so Dave wants to see the X-Force #1. All right, so we're gonna do that one next.
He just needs a book so he can sell it on Instagram next week.
So
Uncanny
X-Force #1, Scotty Young baby cover signed by Sam Humphries. Suggested retail of $39.99. We have the one available for $19.63. #2 of 25, signed in red. All right, and Lee Bizzle. You know what? It might be time for a Rex Cap, people.
Rex Cap. We've only sold 3 books in 2 hours.
Actually, we've got through a lot more than you think. All right, so let me see.
Somebody asked about something else, though. Someone asked about something between Superman and Captain America, and I don't see anything between Superman and Captain America. That bottom row is Spider-Man, Superman, and Captain America.
Well, what's next to the Betty Page and in between the Sudan cover? I think that's the one that he's talking about.
Might be.
Because
It's the other Vampirella book we haven't done.
All right.
Okay.
You know what? Let's do that.
I was going to say, I'm looking at the top of it. It's very much Vampirella.
All right. The road just above that. Let's see. Hey,
we have Evil Ernie.
It's probably it's probably the Vampirella Fairy Tales, right? Ultraviolet cover, maybe.
Yes, correct. All right, let's do that one next.
Oh,
nice collar.
Yeah. Vampirella Fairy Tales, Lyrics Lee, Ultraviolet Virgin cover, suggested retail $50. We have the one available for $40.
I'll tell you right now, I'm gonna want. This is gonna be one of those missing.
This is awesome.
Shocker.
This is like 80s synthwave.
Claiming it.
I love this one. The colors, the pink and the green, and like, oh my goodness, it actually really works.
You said collars, right?
Collars,
yeah.
Nice.
Some really nice collars.
All right, let's do the Rex Cap. It's time. All right, so we had Deadpool #7, Deadpool 25th anniversary variant, signed in silver by co-creator Fabian Nicieza. Suggested retail of $69.99, and we have it as one of our 5-star $50 books, number 18 of 25, signed in silver. Let's see. Then we had Supergirl Rebirth, #1, rare Adam Hughes variant, ultra limited edition red signature series, signed by Steve Orlando. And it is #1 of only 59 signed, and we have the one available for $59.59. And then best offer book, Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows, #5, signed in silver by Scott Hanna. Lars Mann is currently in the lead at $25. And then we did Uncanny X-Force #1, Scotty Young baby cover, signed by Sam Humphries. and it is number 2 of 25, and we have it for a blockbuster price of $19.63. All right, Ron, hold on. You're claiming Deadpool. Gotcha, Ron. You got it, buddy. That one is gone. All right. And then we had another best offer book, Civil War Frontline #1, signed by Paul Jenkins. Creative Keep is currently in the lead at $19.61. Then our other best offer book, Captain America #1, blank variant, signed with cover sketch of Cap and Bucky, and it is a wraparound CCA. Okay, Lars Man, hold on, X-Force. Uncanny X-Force #1 is not a best offer book, Lars Man, so you are the winner on that, my friend. All right, so I got you down, buddy. All right. So Ron is currently in the lead on this book at 25. All right. Then we did Ultimate Comics Fallout #4, facsimile edition, CGC graded 9.8. It's just a retail of $89.99. We have the one available for $79.99. All right. And then we had Evil Ernie #3 FOC premium metal cover. Suggested retail of $100, and we have the one available at $39.99. Then we did Jennifer Blood #6 premium metal cover. Suggested retail of $100, and it is a best offer book at $39.99.
You saw that one claim to Deadpool.
Yes, I did. And the large man claimed X-Force. All right. And then the giveaway of the evening, so make sure you put hashtag station EXP. Is that right, Kyle? Yeah. Hashtag station EXP, all lowercase, to enter. Put that in the chats to enter the drawing. It is Dynamite Never Dies #3, Arthur Sudam Virgin cover. All right. So, and that is the Rex Cap. All right. And let's throw another book up there. Let's do another CCA. We have
that Rex Cap was very well done, Rex. I just want you to know you're doing a good job.
Thanks, sir. I appreciate it. So Ultimate Spider-Man #160, blank variant edition, cover sketch of Spidey by Ken Hazer.
That's great.
It's just retail of $89.99. We have the one available as a 5-star for $50.
Dave's the only person who hashtagged that, so I'll just send him something from Nick's office.
There you go.
Hey, Nick, you got something to send to Dave? Have they done a story yet? I am just overwhelmed with. I talked about this with Alec.
Did I miss the Batman book?
You might have. I'm overwhelmed with Spider-Man. Have they done Miles Morales with the symbiote?
Oh, we haven't done that one yet.
Creative claims that.
All right, you got it.
Does anybody
when
know
Miles first showed up in Ultimate Spider-Man, the second story arc, I think, maybe it was the third, but it was a Venom story arc. But I don't remember. It wasn't that he got the symbiote, right? But there was a moment in, I think, Absolute Carnage where he got taken over by a Carnage symbiote, I believe. Or maybe it was King in Black. But so there was something where there was a symbiote version of him. Of course, variant covers, action figures.
That was sort of my point. I was like, I'm surprised I haven't seen like 9 different T-shirts for that.
All right, Lee Bizzle. I didn't miss the Batman book. We just hadn't gotten to it yet, but we're going to go ahead and do it now. Batman, the Joker Warzone #1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. Suggested retail of $89.99. We have the one available for $69.99. All righty. So there you go, my friend.
That's a cool cover. I mean, I can see Batman fans really coming.
Batman fans, not you.
No.
That is a cool go. Is that Ben Oliver? Or is it Ben Oliver cover? Maybe a Middleton? I think it's an Oliver cover. I'm not sure. Looks cool, though. When are we going to get this action figure? The composite.
Cover?
There you go.
James Tinian IV, John Ridley, Sam Johns, and Joshua Williamson stories. Yeah, very cool.
You want to do the 007 book before we go to break? Because Edward was asking about it.
Edward, we can do that before we go to break.
I am really pumped for y'all's 007 launch because Philip Kennedy Johnson, I think, is the right kind of writer for James Bond. So I'm really excited to see what happens.
All right, so we have James Bond, 007, number 1, Mark Aspinall, black and white cover. It's just at retail of $50, and we have the one available for $40 tonight.
These pseudo-realistic covers, I love this. I absolutely love this.
Well, and the other thing I love about y'all's James Bond books is they're more kind of based on the Ian Fleming novels and not so much like just doing what the movies have done. And I really like that.
Yeah, I've said this for a long time. Years and years I've said this on social media. If you're a James Bond fan, you really want to be getting these Dynamite stories that they're doing because it's a lot closer to the source material than every 4 or 5 years we get one of these Bond movies. They kind of rushed out the last couple. I think even Daniel Craig was like, I'm good. You
think they rushed out the last one? That thing took 2 years to release, man.
Well, a lot of that was because of the pandemic, too. But I think they kind of get a Bond that's hot, and then they kind of push. James Bond movies are historically very long to make because they're different locations. You know what I mean?
They did that with Pierce Brosnan, right? Because like his first movie was awesome, and then they just they started pumping him out so quick, they eventually just fizzled out, man.
You start to lose it. All right, it's time for our last and final break, so stay with us. We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show.
To be continued. 3 little words that hold the secret to the next great story. 3 words that will thrill you, confound you, give life to new possibilities. Every variation of To Be Continued is a promise of adventure, a promise of excitement, a promise of unseen wonders and unexplored worlds. A promise that every issue you read makes you a part of a never-ending journey. And behind every page, there will be an unopened door waiting for you. This story to be continued at your local comic book shop today. Visit comicshoplocator.com today.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at The Experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox.
Welcome to What's in the Box from Space Cadets.
What's in the box? It's John.
I thought we were done.
Don't show any books for a minute. I'll be right back.
For a man who owns 150 watches, you'd think he'd tell time better.
Wayne Japan wants, get the Dynamite artist to Disneyfy John and Rex.
Send an email to Nick on that.
Oh, that'd be great.
Send an email to Ken Hazer.
Ooh.
Is that? I want to be drawn by Ken Hazer.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Somebody asked me that one time. We were in a comic site years ago. Somebody asked me what Dynamite artist do I want to draw me?
Oh my God, that's like opening the door.
No, I mean, I'm thinking there's no Dynamite artist who wants to draw me. That's a terrible idea.
I want Jay Lee to draw me doing the station. That's what I want. Jay Lee.
Oh, that would be cool.
I don't even think Ron would buy that CCA, to be honest with you guys.
You know what? I do. I want Ken to draw me. The Disney-fied style would be okay, but I wouldn't mind if he draws me like Archie Comics.
Ooh, that'd be pretty cool too.
That'd be cool too.
I want to be drawn as Mayor McCheese. That's what I want.
Nice.
Mayor
Dwayne
McCheese.
Payne, Lindsay, John, and Dawn. No.
John drawn as Vampirella. I don't know anybody wants to see that, Jay.
There's
nobody in this planet wants to see that.
No offense, John. I think you're a beautiful man, but I don't want that.
Appreciate that. The
All
Vampirella
right.
costume would fit me like a headband.
I don't know if John could pull off the collar. That's all I'm saying.
All right, so on next week's show, we'll see John put the Vampirella costume around his forehead.
That's about it, man. Holy cow.
Lyrically Ultraviolet.
Color's Gone Wild Night.
All right. So that I don't make the same mistake I made last week,
Uh-oh.
which got me in trouble with production.
Oh no. Oh,
I will take you off screen so fast your head'll spin.
Can you just text it to Kyle?
Right, like you can't just email me this image.
I thought you left. I heard.
Well, he's not
I
leaving
had
for
to
the
go
whole
to the
show.
bathroom. I was gone for a minute and a half.
There
I mean, what he meant was don't throw another book up while he's not there. That's all he meant.
There's a lot in the Vampyverse, Dave. But
By the way,
Okay, Nick is not going to email. He's just going to rip little pieces of Post-its together to try and cover up certain sensitive areas of his phone.
Yikes.
I was wondering what the Post-its
The
were
amount of
for.
time
I
it
was
took
like,
him to
what?
do that.
I was like, why Nick got Post-its on his phone, man?
Kyle, I'm texting this to you. I actually figured out how to text it from my email now.
Did Ron just send you that image?
No, this came from Ken.
Oh, okay.
Lord. Preston goes, wait, John is She-Hulk? No way.
If I was going to be drawn as any Dynamite character, I would probably want.
Okay, I got nobody's info here now. It just says me, right? It doesn't have Ronald's phone number.
He won't do it, man. He won't do it, dude. Anyway, you got to give that phone up. Somebody claimed it last show.
No. Oh, that's right. You got someone else's phone.
Yeah, I got to ship that tomorrow.
Please send that to shipping,
please,
sir.
Please leave it, on my laptop before you leave this evening.
Oh my God.
Make sure to delete any sensitive information.
Everybody hit that thumbs up if you haven't already.
And weird, I would imagine Nick knows that Post-its is not.
He's like, is that how he's trying to text? He writes a Post-it note and puts it on his
New
phone.
phone plan. Ravens delivered. Oh, that's great. Dave
All right.
wants me to Ryan
All right,
Slave.
all you
bro?
guys are
No.
just giving me things that I'm not going to be able to see now, and it's going to be a real problem.
The next time you're watching Star Trek, you'll be like,
So
everybody be virtual therapy.
By the way,
I
for
meant-
everybody on the other platforms, keep in mind we have people watching on Facebook, on Twitch, so you may not have seen the comment, but Ed Weird said you do know that Post-it notes is not texting, right?
Oh, that's
So-
why Weird doesn't come up. You're right. I didn't realize that.
Ronald, as soon as we get them, Ken's been working his buttocks off. Tushy, whatever you want to use.
You could have just said butt.
He tweeted twice last week, so he's got some free time.
Yeah, there
You
you
could have
go.
just said butt, dude. You have to go with the long version. Buttocks.
Buttocks. He's a publisher.
Um,
Oh, wow, is that nice?
that is that. Oh, he did text it to him. There you go.
Holy cow.
That's sweet, isn't it?
Actually, you know what, Kyle? I'm also going to text you the other one.
I should have never given Nick my phone number.
Keister. And Weird is giving you every
Ron,
day.
I'm pretty sure it's completed. It just hasn't arrived yet, right?
Yeah,
Well, no, that's the first one for approval. And I approved it, as did Amy. I think Amy beat me to it.
All right. So Ron, I know you're waiting. All right. And Weird has covered every word for butt in the English language that you can say cleanly. That's PG.
Oh, speaking of approvals that you weren't part of, you might be hearing from the Archie Comics people about Archie and Evil Ernie.
All right, Nick, Creative has an interesting question here.
What's
All
the
right.
question?
Well, read it. It's right there.
Is that She-Hulk for someone in particular? As soon as they come in, we will be presenting those.
I don't even know how many. Creative.
Yeah, we're
So-
trying to figure that out. I'm trying to get as many as possible.
And
as many as possible may mean like 3.
Yeah, I mean, in Ken Hazer's defense, he not, believe it or not, his cover sketches are not exclusively for the experience. I know, I find it amazing as well. But
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
What are you talking about?
He does things that we actually is in our regular inventory that sells through our Dynamic Forces.
Yeah,
website
no,
as
it
well.
is. It is.
So and he does projects for Dynamite from time to time. So he's got a lot on his plate there. His Derriere or Keister or Edward covered every name that you could use for it.
You're allowed to say ass now. I'm just throwing it out there. You're allowed to say that.
I'm not.
Why? And
Kyle,
you've given us all these
Kyle,
options. Why would we?
I want you to put both of these commission cover
Just
art.
text it.
I did.
I don't have it yet.
Okay. All I'm asking you to do is put both She-Hulks next to each other. Pop them both up if you can.
I feel like there's a contest in here somewhere, John.
Hashtag Tookus.
Yeah, but Ed Weird would have won it, man. I mean, he threw up like 8.
I know, he really wanted to win.
And don't forget, Rex, we got the contest from Friday.
Oh my gosh, yes, we do.
Oh my god.
Yes, we do, and I got to pick something for that.
You know what this makes me think of? Amy's favorite show, Ted
Actually-
Lasso.
Nick,
Yeah.
we have to do a giveaway for from Robbie's show. So,
what do we want to give away?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Is my phone definitely claimed?
Yeah, it's gone. It's out of here.
Should I just wander into your office and find something?
Although the winner may return it because I noticed that I think your screen is cracked.
It is cracked.
All right, so
We can get one of them Post-it notes.
We're talking about Ken Hazer so much.
all right.
Signed Vampirella 25.
Okay.
Oh, those are no.
So a signed Ken Hazer cover, signed by Ken Hazer.
In homage to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1.
And that will be, and you know what, Robbie? We should probably do your contest now because then we have the end of best offers, and then we got to do the other giveaway.
I'm ready to do it, man.
Kyle, did you get the other one? So anyway, Ted Lasso, where he's trying to send the fax, and the guy at the desk goes, "There's a fax machine like 8 miles away. If you I don't even remember where." He's like, "Never mind, I'm going to find the carrier pigeon."
I'll find a carrier pigeon. Oh look, it's like a Vampirella cover shirt.
All right, I'm about to engage the randomizer for this
Here we
Vampirella.
go. Here we go. Kyle coming in.
This is for everybody who commented and enjoyed the chat.
Wait,
on our-
we got Kyle coming in. Hold on.
I was just gonna say that joke was way funnier on Ted Lasso than the way Ted.
No, SH exclamation point question mark.
Oh, nice.
So Nick is like the
Look
Predator.
at that. John Byrne homage. Oh, man.
Nice burn homage. Yeah, that's.
So those are 2 separate commission cover art connecting covers that we will hopefully have soon. But look how great Ken is. You got John Buscema in the one hand, and you've got John Byrne in the other, holding in his hand the John Buscema
Yeah, I was
comic.
just gonna say, what does she got in her hand? That's very cool.
So our guys do have, they know that whenever these things come in, they alert me. It has not come in yet.
Didn't he?
Oh no, we only got the one sample today. We only.
Oh, that did come in today?
No. The image.
The
for
image.
approval.
That's what I
The
thought. Okay,
image.
Yeah. So nothing's come in yet, but I know Ron and
I
a
think
few
I'm
others are
misunderstood. I
chopping
thought
at the
when it
bit.
came in, it was.
No, if it was here, I'd be showing it.
All right.
All right.
So
The winner of
Robbie,
the Vampirella.
Go ahead.
I'm clicking it. Officially unofficial geek, whose comment was, I was excited for Batgirl, because I think I said, who was excited for this movie to begin
Oh
with?
yes,
So,
that's right.
yeah.
That's right. All right. So unofficial geek is the winner, and at some point you'll send me info about where to send it. All right.
Yes,
so that
I'll
is-
reach out to her for sure.
Cool. Very cool. All right. So what do we got left? I think we got 2 more books left. I think one is a CCA, so let's do that one real quick. Superman #1, signed with cover sketch of Superman by
You
Ken
creative
Hazer.
keep. I like everyone here. You are all very nice, but when the She-Hulk comes in, it's war.
I had no doubt about that, my friend.
Yes, congrats to the winner, whoever that was.
So this one is just retail of $89.99. We have the one available for $69.99.
Yeah, I like that stuff.
You know what this reminds me of? When I was a kid reading comics in the 80s, and I was like, why does Superman and Tony Stark and all these people have blue hair? I just didn't understand what was going on there, because sometimes it was like there were a lot of highlights in the haircut. I'm thinking of some Iron Man books in particular, but I was like, I thought he had blue hair. I didn't understand it.
Well, one of the things I really liked when Kurt Busiek did Astro City, his Superman homage cover character Samaritan, when he was the guy, he was a normal hair, but when he became Samaritan, his hair was blue, like obviously blue, and I was like, that's a nice touch. That's a really nice touch.
Did y'all see the trailer? There's a new Sylvester Stallone movie coming out. It's called Samaritan, and it's a superhero film, but it's not the Astro City Samaritan, but he's an older superhero who's retired and a kid finds him. Have y'all seen that trailer? It looks really good.
Yeah, that's not. It's going to be on Amazon.
Yeah, I haven't seen the trailer.
Later. Oh no, the trailer was good. It was exactly what you'd expect. Cute kid. Hey, aren't you Samaritan? No, get away from me, kid. And then the next thing you know, there he is.
Yeah, a little unbreakable, but okay, it's fine because he's got the hood up and everything.
I was going to say there's a lot of unbreakable energy there.
So Ed Weird's got a good one. I always wanted to know why Superman wore his underpants on the outside of his pants when I was a kid.
Elliot S. Magin talked
And
about
weird,
that.
so that when we were at home pretending to be Superman, it was easier to do it.
Elliot S. Magin said it's because Superman's costume. He did an interview with Siegel and Schuster. Well, he did many interviews with Siegel and Schuster. Well, Elliot S. Magin said the reason it's supposed to look like a circus strongman, and the leotards and stuff at the time always sort of had some kind of shorts. Over the years, they became bikini briefs, and now it's just a red belt.
Right.
I think a guy like Darwin Cook got it right, where if you look at Darwin Cook's Superman, especially New Frontier, that's probably the closest to the original imagining of the character. Right. The shorts are squared off.
There's another element of it too, I'm sure, because this happened with Silver Surfer, where they get Silver Surfer, they're like, but we can't have this guy be naked. They're like, but we don't have anything there. But like, so they would draw underwear lines on Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
like
he's covered with the skin.
You have to have at least the illusion that something was there or something like that. I don't know. That was so weird.
He didn't have toes. Like Kirby didn't give him toes, but Kirby gave him DVDs. I never understood that.
All right, last book of the night. Here we go. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, #8. Joseph Michael Linsner. Red line cover art. There you go. That's beautiful. Suggested retail of $50, and we have the one available for $40.
You know, Linsner has a really great style with the way he I don't know how he colors his books, but I'm sure it's like some kind of digital painting or something, right? But it's so rare that you really see his line work. The line work is super clean and solid, like really good stuff.
So,
we've talked about that. That's why we like.
Dwayne's a Pain is claiming it. You got it, Dwayne.
That's why we like these like red line colors. They did a green line color. They've done a bunch of black and white versions. You really get to see the art, the line work from some artists. That again, there's a few of them where you don't get to see that much.
Real quick, Linsner fully paints. He just sends us the line work before he goes to paint.
Oh wow!
Very cool.
So he's painting with like actual material. That's crazy.
Apparently. I assumed that was digital, but obviously it's not.
What size does he do them, I wonder? Because he does a lot of covers. That's a lot of paintings then.
It's a lot of painting.
Yeah,
he's very active on his Facebook page, kind of answering questions and putting stuff up there. That might be something to sort of, hit him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Ooh, Linsner CCA. I wouldn't hate that either.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Kyle, when you get a chance, could you throw up the link to the claim page? Preston was asking for it. If we have any new people in here tonight, super easy process. You claim something, click the link, read and follow the instructions. It's pretty basic. We just need to get your info so that Rex can send the stuff out to you. At some point, hopefully Kyle will throw that up before the end of the show. It's really easy. Every once in a while, it's kind of complicated. No, it's not. It's really not.
Yeah, hit the link, fill out your info. A lot of times the screen name and the real name don't match up. But most importantly, it gives us the ship to address so that we can ship the stuff to you. And as soon as Kyle gets a chance, he'll throw that link up. I have no doubt.
That has made me like Linsner even more, because now I'm thinking about having to understand how that's going to print, because his colors are always vibrant on his stuff too. Yeah. So like that means like, wow, Like that's, I mean, he's been doing it forever though, right? So like he was doing it with Dawn. That was like what, 80s, 90s, something like that.
Dawn,
Yeah,
I think
90s, I think, right? So
I'm going to say that's like the early 90s, Dawn.
yeah, I think so. Man,
All right, so
that's crazy.
Let me do a quick best offer recap as we're approaching the end here. Let's see. We have these are best offers only. Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows #5, signed in silver by Scott Hanna. Suggested retail of $69.99. Lars Man is currently in the lead at $25. Civil War Frontline #1, signed by Paul Jenkins. It is a suggested retail $29.99. It is a best offer book, and creative is in the lead at $19.61. Then we had Captain America #1, blank variant, signed with cover sketch of Cap and Bucky, a wraparound cover sketch. Suggested retail of $89.99. It is a best offer book, and Ron is in the lead at $25.
That's a nice cover, man. Wow.
Then we had Ultimate Comics Fallout #4, facsimile edition,
And
CGC
why
graded,
did the Ron Ruff
9.8.
Red News thing get right up? Did you throw that in his box last week?
Maybe. I don't know. Where is it? It might have slipped in there. I don't know.
Might have fallen in. Who can say?
So Batman the Joker War #1, CGC graded, guaranteed 9.8. Just retail $89.99, and we have the one available for $69.99. Oh, I'm only doing best offers. Then we had Evil Ernie #3, FOC premium metal cover. Suggested retail of $100. It is a best offer book starting at $39.99.
That's great.
Hey, Perry Comics Station, brother. And then we had Jennifer Blood #6, premium metal cover. Suggested retail of $100. It is a best offer book at $39.99. And then the giveaway of the night, if you haven't entered it into the chats, you want to do it real quick. Hashtag station EXP, all lowercase. And the prize is Dynamite Never Dies #3, Arthur Sudan, Virgin cover.
It's always great to see Perry Comics in the chat. By the way, Perry will be joining me for PCP Movie Night tonight, y'all. We're talking about Commando.
Nice.
Oh, that was a good one. That was definitely one.
And probably named John Matrix.
That came. It feels like that came out around the same time as the first Predator movie, right?
It was 85, so it's before Predator, but it's right after Terminator.
These things are sort of. There was a point where Arnold Schwarzenegger had a movie out like every 18 months.
Yeah.
And people forget some of his movies. Every once in a while, something would pop up, and people would be like, "Raw deal! I never heard of this before." And I'm like,
"Yeah." The daughter was the actress from
Alyssa Milano.
Milano, yeah.
So I really enjoyed that movie. I mean,
that movie's fun. You know, it's written by Jeff Loeb.
Oh, is it really? I
Yeah,
did not know
that and Teen Wolf. He's credited as Joseph Loeb, but that's the same Jeff Loeb from comics. Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't overly deep. Okay, I mean, it wasn't a deep thinking movie. It was a.
Do you remember when I said I'd kill you last? I lied. What did you do to him? I let him go.
Hey, wait, Ray Dawn Chong was also in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that. That was her moment too. She was like super hot at that moment. But yeah, I just watched Terminator last weekend. Loved it. Which one? And the original? I think I watched the original when I was on vacation. It flipped on TV and I just watched it.
Last year when we were in Myrtle Beach, my wife, her sisters, they wanted to do stuff. Me and my father-in-law hung out, and we watched. I think we watched Terminator, Predator. We watched like 3 or 4 Arnold movies in a row.
And Arnie did.
Yeah, it really was. And we just sat there, and it was just like a great afternoon. There was a seafood place across the way, and we just had them send up like the family box. And we just sat there and we watched these things. And I was like, man, you kind of forget how entertaining these are. We came out of the 70s, and there were a ton of these movies that are, super heavy cinema. So the 80s came, and people decided, oh, God, I've had enough. So it was tons of weird stuff like weird science and my science project, things that were like totally crazy, or things that were super over the top like Top Gun, Commando, RoboCop. I tell people all the time, if you look at the string of movies that came in the 70s, you see exactly why you got the movies we got in the 80s.
Right. So, and Weird said it was the first one. I agree, buddy. That one really held up. It's Terminator, the first one.
Oh, yeah.
It's held up in the test of time. Great movie. Absolutely none of the after movies were even. I don't know. None of them measured up.
Oh, I love Terminator 2.
Dude,
he's the governor. He's in that movie. It's Terminator 2 or 3. It might be Terminator 3. He's the governor. He's the sitting governor of California, and he's on the movie screen.
Yeah, I was
super happy.
I was not super impressed with the even the last one by what's his name? Played John Connor. Batman.
Oh, Christian
Bale.
They ran out of gas after a while, and then they tried to retell.
Yeah, I just think I don't know. Creative Key Twins. That was a tremendous movie. Aren't they remaking that? Twins.
They are supposed to be making Twins, and if I remember correctly, Twins are supposed to be Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that. I would like to see that remake with those two. To be honest, they're really funny together. They're hilarious.
Well, Dwayne Johnson has said in interviews that when he was growing up, his favorite movies were Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, and he would love to kind of do a few of those, assuming he doesn't become the president or whatever. I would love to see him do a few. Oh, you know what? The best thing about that show, he had like a show called like Young Rock, and it takes place at 3 points of his life.
Yeah,
Did you watch that? I love the part where he's running for president. I'm like, dude, I could totally see that, man. Everybody loves The Rock.
Hey, Arnie became governor of California, so anything's possible.
Jesse Ventura became the governor of Minnesota because they love wrestling.
Yes.
I'm just ready for Carl Weathers to become the governor of some state because I think there's like everybody in Predator is going to be a governor at some point.
I'd be super happy.
You know what? I just today I just read the guy from Magnum PI.
Tom Selleck?
No.
Tom Selleck?
No. One of the guy who flew the helicopters. He just died in a car accident.
Oh, that's awful.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Way to bring the show down, man.
Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean that and Michelle Nichols.
And you guys saw today
Olivia Newton-John.
Yeah.
Today, yeah.
What, say again?
Olivia Newton-John passed away today.
Yeah, I saw that at lunch. You know, I know I know I'm getting to the age. You know, it's just kind of weird as it all kind of happens. You know, it seems like, you know, all these people you grew up with. Mosley, that's it. Thank you, Dave. All these people you grew up watching, you know, they're just at that age, but it's always, you know, still real sad.
They're good, Preston.
Yeah, you know, my mom loved Grease. Bought the 2-album set. You know, we must have watched it a million
I've
times.
seen Grease more time. I mean, between that, I've gone to see productions. You know, my oldest niece was in one. I think I probably went 4 of the 5 nights.
It was a really good movie. I mean, it's. So which other guy from Magnum PI creative Keith? Not
John Hillerman.
Who's the was he like a British white guy or something in that
John
show?
Hillerman. Yeah. Who we all suspected was actually the Robin who owned the property.
Yeah, I remember that. They
kind of alluded to that.
It alluded that it was him.
I just always know that Tom Selleck to me will always be Mr. Baseball. So
what's funny to me is that whole series with Tom Selleck and the Ferrari tooling around town. If you've ever been to Hawaii, there ain't nowhere you can drive faster than like 50.
Not only that, but there's that too. But if you've ever even walked past a Ferrari, like in a parking lot, Tom Selleck is like 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, I know.
You have to have that customized. There's no way a guy.
That's why he always jumped into the top.
All right,
so
football player in college.
Thank you, Kyle, for throwing that up. It is time for the contest. So here we go. Let's see who the winner is. Oh, Ron Shepard.
Hey, Ron. Congratulations, Ron.
You got it, buddy. Congratulations. You are the winner of Dynamite Never Dies. Number 3, Arthur Sudan, Virgin cover.
That's a great cover, man. I like that a lot.
Lars Van Tom Selleck for the new Lobo role.
Tom
Natural.
Selleck is 75.
Hey, not a bad idea, man. Let's do it. Could play Lobo's dad, right?
Ron's giving us the details. So Roger Mosley was in a car accident a week prior, and he was paralyzed from the shoulders down, and he was 83 when he died. Okay.
Oh.
I had not even heard about that. I just heard today that he passed away due to a car accident.
Ron might need to read a comic.
Comic
books are like currency to Ron. I imagine he goes to get gas, and he just hands the guy like a CCA. Thanks,
Yeah,
man.
right.
I'm out.
All right, so 9 o'clock tonight on Robbie's YouTube channel, Pop Culture Philosophers. They're doing the movie review of one of my favorites, Commando.
Is there anything on at 8 o'clock tonight on Experience?
I'm not sure. Hold on.
Yes, Miss Jen is always on Mondays with the Mishmash Show.
Mishmash.
There we go. So we got Mishmash.
I know it was Miss Jen. I didn't know which show.
We got Mishmash at 8, and then after that, flip over to Robbie's channel. Check out his movie review night of Commando. I may have to watch because I love that movie. I absolutely I don't know why. It was just my Ernie
I'll tell
period.
You know what? If you do that, put the movie on in the background.
I gotta find it. Where's it showing, bud?
Yeah, well, you can get it on Stars, I think it is, or something like that. I think it's on Stars or Encore or something like that. You just unlock the free trial on Amazon Prime, right? You get a 7-day free trial or something. Unlock that.
Every time I unlock something from free trial, I forget to lock it back up, and then I go. Then 4 months later, I go, what is this ding on my credit card every month?
But John is right. For our movie reviews, you can just put the movie on because we go long enough. It's almost like a commentary track.
There you go. All right. So I want to thank everybody who's joined us tonight, as always. Thank you, Robbie. As
Thank you,
always.
Kyle, for everything.
Thank you.
We didn't
Kyle,
get to this, but I'll throw it up real fast. That was my weekend.
Oh yeah, this was.
Nice.
Nice collar.
Yeah. I knew you were at checking your Facebook. I knew you were at a competition this week.
I love when I get those pictures.
On Wednesday, you got to tell us how it went.
I see you have a message from Kyle. I'm like, I'm looking forward to this.
Not if I haven't eaten. So thank you, everybody. Have a great
Congratulations
Monday.
to the winners. Have a great day. We'll see you. Thanks, Robbie. We'll see you guys Wednesday for New Comic Book Day.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.